Superman wants to destroy the world, and the bad guy is the savior. What's the reason for this? It turns out that Roy killed Superman not long ago, with no more rivals. He was too lonely, so he collected Superman's DNA, and built a genetic energy gun. If he was hit by it, he could transform into Superman, but it ended up hitting Tom by mistake. Although Tom became Superman, but he had no sense of justice. All he did was play games and flirt with girls. He's been robbing banks. Now he wants to destroy the world and rule it. Roy may be a bad guy, but he couldn't stand what Superman was doing. So Roy appeared in the sky to fight Superman. When Superman saw Roy, he was furious, and in an instant, he rushed forward, but he fell for Roy's trap. Roy rushed to rescue Annie, the girl Superman had kidnapped. By now Superman had broken free too. He lifted the 500-ton building, then he threw it with all his might. The building came crashing down on Roy. Roy couldn't dodge it and then fell to the ground. Then he rushed into his invisible car. He grabbed his genetic energy gun. By this time Superman had arrived. Roy was thrown out again by Superman. Then Roy quickly adjusted his position. Then he landed and aimed at Superman's nostrils. By now all the Superman genes that had been injected into Tom had been absorbed back into his body. Superman was instantly back to normal. And that was the end of the crisis. A man who grew up to be a bad guy, and then he becomes a hero who saves the world. It's not a coincidence, because Roy was a good person throughout, despite wreaking havoc on the city. But he never hurt anyone, so it seems that he was a real-life mischief maker. So-called villains are not what they are meant to be. It's the isolation and ostracism of their environment that forces them to disguise themselves.